Hi, it's Bill Cotton here. Now that I've got my setup loaded up and WordPress installed, there are one or two changes that I want to make, and I'm going to be adding some plugins. I'm going to change the theme and put my first post on the website. Here we are back at my site, so now we're just going to log into the WP admin. So all we do is put a cursor at the end of here and put a / in and type in WP, and you can see I've already been there, so it's already picked it up automatically, but I'll type the full thing in -admin, press return. I'll just move this back up. And because I've been logged into the admin panel earlier on, it's remembered my details here, and incidentally I've changed the password. Now we're just going to log in now. So the first thing I'm going to change, I'll go back to the website just for a second here. You can see it's got my blog here and nothing else, and we want to change that. So the first thing we're going to do is change that, and to change it we're going to go into settings, and here you can see that's where it says my blog. So I'm now going to change that to my full website. So, and I'm going to change this line here as well. I'm going to try and get my keywords in here, both affiliate and work at home. They're both separate keywords, so they're sort of like lumped together. I might change that later on. It's just something just to show you what you need to do here. And we're going to save the changes. Now we'll just go back to the website and hit refresh. And as you can see, it's changed it here. It's put one part on the left hand side, another part on the other side, looking at home as affiliate. Now I'm going to change the theme. So we go to appearance, select theme, then select install theme. Now there are literally hundreds of themes that you can use for WordPress, and you've got some options here that you can select to narrow your search down. But for now I'm just going to do a search. I just like plain sites, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to type in plain, and click search, and it's brought back about what, 10 sites here, 10 themes here. I quite like the look of that one, but it's a bit more like a newspaper. You can just click on preview here, and it brings up a larger version of the picture you've just seen, and you can scroll up and down. It gives you a bit more idea what your text and that's going to look like on the site. I quite like this one, so I think we'll go with this one for now. Now all you need to do now is click install, and install now. And that's it installed. And now if you click on activate, and we'll just go back to the website and have a look at it now. Hit the refresh. And there you go. I've completely changed the website. It looks totally different now. Now that brings me on to installing plugins. Add new, and I'm going to go and search through the popular ones. Now you've got a list of plugins here, and on the right hand side here you can see there's a description of what the plugins actually do. Now this is one of the ones that I'm looking for. I'm going to install that now. And then click activate. So the plugin is now activated. And normally when you're installing it for the first time, I've actually installed it and uninstalled it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to change that tagline. I've got some a bit of text here that I'm going to put in for the tagline. And that's me put my tagline in. This will not actually appear on your website. This is what appears in the search engines when your site comes up. It gives you a brief description of what the site's all about, and that's what the search engines will see. So click Save Changes, and while we're in settings, there's just something I want to show you here. We'll go back to the website. It's just here, and let me just move this down a bit. Now you can see I've got a sample page there. So if I click on that sample page, and you just have a look at the in the address bar here, and that looks a bit ugly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that, and you change it here in permalinks. And what I'm going to do is put a custom structure in. So that's me put my custom structure in. When you're making posts on your blog, you'll create categories. So what it'll do is when someone clicks on one of your pages, it'll bring up the category that you've stored that page under, and the name of the post at the end of it. And all this is helps you with your search engine rankings, with your SEO and that sort of thing. So now if I go back to the site, save changes, and just go back to the site now and refresh that, and you see it looks a lot nicer than just symbols and zeros and twos and numbers, that sort of thing. Right, we'll go back to the control panel now. So that's changing your theme, adding a plugin, and there's actually another plugin I would like to install. We'll add new and popular again. That's the one I want. Google XML for sitemaps. What this actually does, it creates a map of your site, and then when Google comes to spider it, it finds its way around your site a lot easier. So that's how to add plugins, change your theme, and make your website a bit more pleasing on the eye. The next thing is to put your first post up. What I'm going to do first is move the original posts. This is a standard post that WordPress puts in during installation, the Hello World post. So I'm just going to click on Trash and remove that. It's just come up with an error as I've tried to remove that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new post and then see if it'll let me remove it later on. So here we are at the post screen. Of course you'll have this on full screen, so it'll be a bit bigger. Right, first thing we need to do is put in our title, and the title for this is going to be Work at Home. I always create any posts that I'm going to make in Microsoft Word, and what I've found is if you click on the HTML and when you copy your text in from your Word document, which is here's one I prepared earlier, it takes all the strange characters out that Word puts in, all the formatting characters that you can't actually see, it actually strips them all out. Otherwise, if you post it into the visual aid, what happens is it actually brings over the editing characters and it makes your post look a mess. Now what I'm going to do is I've got no categories in here, so I'm going to add a new category, and it's going to be at work at home again. So that's getting my keywords in here. So automatically ticks a box for you because you've added that category. Next I'm going to add a tag, and again it's going to be keywords. Add that tag. And we've got, you can't quite see it there, it's added the tag there, but because we've got it a minimized screen, so the text is covered it up. There's one thing that I like to do, and I like to see all the text come up to the edges, so that it's all in a line, rather than as you can see it here, the sort of like indents all over the place, and I think in a post it looks untidy. So still in the HTML editor, I'm going to show you just a little bit of HTML here. It's not difficult. So if you've not done HTML before, what they use is what they call tags, and to enclose the tags they use the greater than and the less than sign on your keyboard. They look like arrows without a stick on them. Now what I want to do is, to get this justified, I've got to put P in, and that stands for paragraph, and type in align equals justify and the closing symbol, and that's all there is to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, because I'm going to put this, I've got to put this at the beginning of each sentence, or the beginning of each paragraph. I'll just pause the video for a short time. If anybody's wondering what keys I'm pressing when I'm copying and pasting, to copy you press the control key, then press C, and then when you get to the area where you want to paste it, you click in that area and you press the V, and that pastes in the information that you've just copied over. So I'm just going to pause it for a second. So I've done that now. I've inserted my little bit of HTML there at the beginning of all the paragraphs, and I'm going to go back to the visual editor. You can actually type in here directly. You don't have to create it in a Word document, but I like to do that, and then I can edit it and that sort of thing and mess about with it, and then it's just a matter of copying and pasting it in. Now I'm going to bring this up to a full screen so it gives you a better idea what things look like here. So we'll just head off back to the website now. Now as you can see, here's my first post, and there's all the text justified. Now then, actually seeing this theme live, I'm not quite so sure that I'm actually going to keep it, so what I'll do is I'll probably change this theme. But that's how to edit your theme, change it, add your plugins, and add your first bit of text. And that's it for this video. Thank you.